The Mandalorian is back! We are a long time removed from the Luke Skywalker finale of Season 2. In that time, Disney has managed to confirm that the sequel trilogy was not a fluke. Disney can't handle this IP. Disney Star Wars is not Star Wars. The Mandalorian is Disney's top show on Communist Plus, but is it really that good? Season 1 followed The Last Jedi, Season 2 followed The Rise of Skywalker. Contrary to how Solo was arguably a victim of The Last Jedi, I feel The Mandalorian benefited off the disappointment of the sequel trilogy. When you set the bar so low, it's not hard to exceed it. Am I onto something? Is The Mandalorian highly overrated? I mean, Jon Favreau was the showrunner of the Book of Boba Fett, and everyone hated that show. Boba Fett, Obi-Wan, and Andor were complete failures. Will The Mandalorian Season 3 turn it around? Some think so. They still don't want to accept that Disney Star Wars is complete garbage. They may hate 90% of Disney Star Wars, but they still cling to this show. Well, I watched the first episode of Season 3, and I can confirm it is trash. Here is my review for the season premiere of The Mandalorian. The episode starts off with what looks like to be a direct ripoff of the Pensieve from Harry Potter. It's not the first time they ripped off Harry Potter.
My sons and daughters do not harm Hagrid on my command. But I cannot deny them fresh meat.
Turns out it's not a Pensieve. They're making a helmet for a foundling. At first, along with many others, I thought it was Din Djarin in a flashback. It's just some kid. And I feel this scene is really symbolic of Disney's agenda to groom children. And the monster that emerges is Ron DeSantis laying down the hammer on Disney's special self-governing status. I'm watching this and thinking, it's been 2 years since the last episode, and they open with this shit? I can't help but think it's very similar to the Season 2 premiere where Mando and the Tuskens fight a monster. Then you have the epic entrance of Mando, comes in and destroys the monster.
Wait a minute, you want that? You want that? You want that?
Wow! What an entrance!
I gotta say, I was very underwhelmed by that entrance. I thought it was lazy. The show has been out of our minds for a very long time, and we got a Harry Potter ripoff, grooming children, and rehashing the monster from the Season 2 premiere. Then, conveniently, they don't mention Luke Skywalker in the recap. So if I'm just some casual Star Wars NPC with a hard-on for Grogu, I'm not going to know what's going on. Okay guys, so Din isn't a Mandalorian anymore. He removed his helmet in the retcon chapter 16. He saves their lives from the rehash Season 2 monster, yet he's not redeemed. He needs to take a bath on Mandalore to redeem himself. For anyone wondering, they did mention Cara Dune.
I need a marshal.
What about Marshal Dune?
After she brought in Moff Gideon, she was recruited by Special Forces.
And what came of Gideon?
It's exactly how I thought they'd handle it. Sweep it under the rug, keep your options open, and deal with it later. This episode is very boring. I find that's a common trait of Star Wars shows on Communist Plus. Din wants to revive his old droid who blew himself up. And it's not like Andor where I completely forgot who the character was. I only watched the episode once, because why the fuck would I rewatch this show? And we had such a long layoff thanks to Kathleen Kennedy and her leadership, I mostly forgot who this character was and don't remember anything about his death. This scene would be a lot more impactful if I remembered the emotional sacrifice this droid made. And how did they find the parts to this droid? He blew himself up in lava. How is this possible?
I don't know. Who cares?
There's a subpar dogfight in this episode with some pirates, which Sexplain really loved.
This dogfight through the asteroids was awesome, culminating in the reveal of Gorian Shard's ship.
Ah, what a kind sentiment.
You kick my can and bother me and expect me to play a game with... I don't play games with little furry monsters.
Mando makes his way to Bo-Katan. He wants to join her, and she is a bit of a Bo-Karen, whining about the Darksaber. She conveniently tells Mando where he needs to go to take a bath, so Mando will be going to the bathhouse on Mandalore in a future episode. The one thing about this scene that I wouldn't say bugs me, it's just a question that needs to be asked. What is she doing in that palace? Again, it's convenient that she just happens to be sitting there as Din comes in. Does she sit there all day? Does she have a phone? A laptop? No TV? Just sits there? Maybe she sits there for 5 hours and takes a walk for 2. Eats a few times a day? That's an hour or 2. Jerks off, maybe twice. Exercises, practices her combat skills. I don't know what she does all day. Certainly she doesn't sit there all day. That's absurd. Overall, I thought the episode was terrible. Even Star Wars Sexplained didn't like it.
The Mandalorian is back. Season 3 premiered today with Chapter 17, The Apostate. So how was it? I liked it a lot. It's not the best of the series. Honestly, it's probably my least favorite of the season premieres.
I agree with Star Wars Sexplained. This episode failed to make an impact. Why should people invest their time and watch this every week?
There weren't any huge developments, but there was still a ton of strong Star Wars symbolism and fun stuff throughout that made me laugh and cheer. I still walked away from it all thinking, it's good to be back.
Let's be honest, no one cares about Din Djarin. No one cares about the bathhouse on Mandalore. Disney knows Star Wars fans are stupid. That's why Disney shoves Grogu down their throat. That's why Grogu isn't training with Luke Skywalker. He's back on screen in Disney's top show, The Grogu Show. In this opening scene, Grogu pops his head out. Why is he not sitting properly with his seatbelt on? This was set up deliberately for the audience.
It's deliberate! Deliberate, I tell you!
A few minutes later, the best scene in the whole episode, Grogu spinning in a chair. Who cares what Din and Carl Weathers are talking about? Grogu is spinning in a chair. Oh, and let's show Grogu eating some more because it's so cute and funny.
No, Grogu. Not a pet.
Oh man, this is top tier Star Wars. It's nice after the adult HBO styled Andor show to get back to the wacky and zany Grogu. They're tossing him like a football now. Get me some Grogu merch! Get it to me now! This is the way! Oh, George Lucas on a Friday. I can't wait to watch more Grogu for the next 900 years. And for all the Disney sympathizers that are whining in my comments, Grogu is going to be in Rey's Jedi Order. Remember Rey? Remember the sequels? Some of you love them, some like them, but many of you claim to dislike or hate them. The Mandalorian, your favorite show, is tying into the sequels. This is Disney canon. Disney canon is garbage. Yeah, we're saving Star Wars, guys. They don't need to say that Star Wars. I love him so much. For what we gonna work on all the sequels, and for what we gonna bring in the Ahsoka, and he's gonna be so good because he worked with George Lucas, and Dave Filoni is my favorite. I love Dave Filoni a lot. Star Wars isn't being saved. The Mandalorian Season 3 premiere is trash. I'm growing stronger in the dark side every day. But I need more Knights. Become a Knight, subscribe to the channel, join the Knights of Melvin Discord, help plot to take down Disney and all their shills.
The dark side of the Force is a pathway to many abilities some consider to be unnatural.